Hello everyone, it is Unapologetically Political here, coming to you with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about why I think Democrats are not going to have a blue wave, and the proof to back it up. So, there's been a lot of talk recently that in 2026 Democrats are just going to win because they're not the party in power, and the party in power does horrible in midterms and blah 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 blah. I think this is dumb. Like, extremely dumb. So I'm going to start going off on the reasons, and I'm going to be talking about the reasons little by little. And then I'll be saying what I think is going to happen in the midterms. So, right now the Democrats' lead is 2.5. Okay? Another point I'd like to make is I think the Democrats are going to have a performance similar to what the Republicans did in 2022 than what they did in 2018. I forgot to mention that. I do apologize. They're not going to have blue wave like in 2018, not 19. Yeah, I speak English very well. I think it's going to be a lot like 2022, where they barely win the House and they barely take the, and they don't even take the Senate, because right now they don't have a pathway to take the Senate. So, with that said, right now, okay, the Democrats' lead is 2.5. Okay, let's go ahead and look at 2018. 2018, it was 7.3. They beat the odds. It was 8.4. Okay, at this time, Trump's approval rating was minus 18 at this time. So, and now it is minus 5, as you can see right here, minus 5. Let me pull it up. Right now it is minus 5. Going from minus 18 at this point last term to minus 5 at this point in this term is really good. Like, really good. And not to mention, 2.5 is the margin of error. This right here is statistical noise. Absolutely, just statistical noise. The Democrats honestly might not even have this margin. They might be way lower. I mean, look at their most recent poll. The most recent poll was a tie. The most recent polls actually have had, the two most recent polls have had Democrats down compared to previous ones. And of course there's that 1 point poll right there that is kind of like an outlier for some reason. But that's besides the point. So there's that. That's reason number 1. Is Democrats' lead is the margin of error. It is statistical noise. It is unlikely this will be the main vote. Now, if it's above 3 points, well then now it's serious, because actually that's no longer statistical noise. But it's not over 3 points. It's below 3 points. Okay. So let's look at, real quick, let's look at one of the reasons why I don't think Democrats are going to have a very good time in the midterms. Now, if you watched my last video, I went over in detail how the Democrats are in debt and right now don't have clear messaging or funding. I'm not going to go over all of it again, but the Democrats don't have money. Plain and simple, they don't have money. Without money, how are you supposed to win? Okay, it's that simple. The Democrats are even thinking of taking a loan just to fund the party. Not the candidates, not the campaigns, just the party in general. Just the office of the party, just the DNC building. Not even the campaigns across the country. The Democrats are in a really bad spot with the midterms just because of this in general, and there's still many more reasons. Now, let's look at the 2022 House results. 2022, Republicans were expected to win by a decent bit. They didn't. They barely won the House. They got a 9-seat majority in the House, and they lost 2 governorships, and they didn't even tie in the Senate. The Democrats still had a 1-vote advantage in the Senate. Now, Republicans did win the popular vote in the midterms. Okay, they did win the popular vote in the midterms, but by about 3 million-ish. But again, I don't think that this was a good performance. I think it was a bad performance. This was a horrible performance. The Democrats could have done, I mean, not the Democrats, the Republicans could have done so much better here, and they didn't. And so, I genuinely think results like this is what to expect during 26 midterms, except Republicans are going to have a 53-seat majority in the Senate, and Democrats will barely win the House by like maybe two seats. I still think Republicans have a serious chance at winning and keeping the House, mainly because of the reasons I'm going to go into. Mainly because of some of the extra reasons I'm going to go to. I'm going to rephrase that. I think the House is genuinely 50-50 at the moment. I do. Republicans have been outraising Democrats by tens of millions, and that has never happened before in a midterm or just general election in general. The Democratic Party is having a financial crisis. Stupid ad. Is having a financial crisis, and there is honestly nothing they can really do about it. If they have to take out a loan, if they're going to take out a loan, it's going to cripple them. It will fund them in the short term, but in the long term, it's going to make them forever in debt. And as a political party, being in debt is not exactly something that wins you elections. Now, let's get into voter registration. Now, voter registration does not mean everything, but it is a good indicator of trends. Okay, so, state of Idaho. All right. In November 2022, 580 Republicans. November 2024, 496,000 Republicans. Oh, wait, sorry. I read that wrong. Hold up. So, in 2022, Republicans in the state of Idaho had a 449,000 vote lead. Then it went up about 50,000 to a 496. Gosh, I cannot talk today. I am sorry. It is a 496,000 lead. Now, as of today, as of the September voter rolls, it is 506,000 voter lead. Yes, Republicans did lose a couple votes here, but so did Democrats. But technically, this is a net gain for the Democrats by about 90 votes, but that really isn't much. This is like the one outlier of the voter registration example that I'm going to be going over. Let's go over Rhode Island next. Rhode Island, massive Democrat state, very, very Democrat. Harris plus 13, like very Democrat. It is currently 317 plus 317 Republicans minus 188 Republicans. That is a net gain for Republicans by about 500 voters. Now that is small, but if that's happening in Rhode Island, that's not good. And it's happening all across the country. For some reason, voter registration for Republicans has been consistent all year. Republicans have been winning in the registration battle. Let's look at Kentucky. Republicans had a net gain of about 1,500 voters in the state of Kentucky. Just look at that. That's not... that's a sign of tides changing. Let's look at Pennsylvania. Major swing state, major thing. This one is the one I really wanted to get into. Okay. In the month of August, Democrats lost 5,133 voters. Republicans gained 373 voters. That is a net gain for Republicans by about 5,500 voters. That's a net gain of 5,500 voters for Republicans. Now, this is what I really wanted to let you guys see. Is down here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I do apologize if you can't. It is a small number. But down here, at the end of 2024, the Democratic advantage in Pennsylvania was 286,283. Okay? In 2022, it was 500,000. It was 550,000. In 2020, it was 685,000. In 2016, it was 916,000. As of today, it's 53,000. As of today, it is 53,000. Since the beginning of the year, Democrats have lost over 240,000 voters. 240,000 voters. If these type of numbers keep happening for Democrats, in about 10 months, the voter registration is going to flip on the side of Republicans. That's not good for Democrats. Pennsylvania has been a Democrat state, at least in voter registration, forever. And losing that and having that flip would be a massive blow to the Democratic Party. Again, it shows that the Democrats have bad messaging and that people would rather be a Republican than even associate themselves with the Democratic Party at this moment. Now let's look at the next state, New Mexico. New Mexico, in my opinion, is going to be a swing state in the 2030s, without a doubt. Harris won it by only 6 last year, which was surprising because I honestly thought she'd win it by about 10. She won it by 6. She won it by a New Jersey margin. Change from August, like the amount of new voters and voter registration in August, plus 1,056 Republicans, plus 562 Republicans. Democrats. 562 Democrats. Sorry, I'm tired. I apologize. That's a net gain of 500 voters. In 2024, when 2024 ended, in the beginning of 2025, New Mexico had a 154,000 vote lead for Democrats. Now, it's a 133,000 vote lead. New Mexico has trended Republican. Let's look at the next state. I think it's Florida. Florida, of course, is a Republican stronghold now. There is no doubting it. But casually, over the month of August, Democrats lost 37,000 voters, and Republicans lost 10,000 voters because they're cleaning up the voter rolls. But Democrats still lost a ton more voters. So Republicans gained, net gain. Republicans had 27,000 new voters. That's a net gain of 27,000. That is massive. Just casually over the weekend, just over August, just gonna go ahead and add 20,000 new votes to the lead. Nothing major. In 2020, the Democrats led by 134,000. 2022, it was 305,000 for Republicans. And 2024, it was 1,077,000 voters for Republicans. not even 8 years ago, this was not even, actually, no, 8 years ago. Yeah, 8 years ago, this was a swing state. Florida was the swing state. It was Pennsylvania. It was the Pennsylvania of 2016. If you won Florida, you won the presidency. Guess what? Democrats aren't winning the state again. Not for a long, long time. Now, let's go to Louisiana. Again, Louisiana is mostly ancestral Democrats. I will admit that. They mostly vote for Trump, but they still register as a Democrat for some reason. I don't know. But even in Louisiana, where that's kind of the culture, Democrats are still losing. Democrats lost 2,733 voters. Republicans lost 160 voters. That is a net gain of almost 2,600 voters. If I round up. I think I did my math right. There isn't going to be a blue wave. Okay? There isn't. Plain and simple. There just is not going to be a blue wave. I genuinely do not see a blue wave happening. I do think Democrats are going to win the House, but just barely. But Democrats are in a really bad position right now. They're broke, they have horrible messaging, and they're losing the voter registration battle. It's not going to be a blue wave. To all my Democrat viewers, to all my liberal friends, please don't get your hopes up. Vote to your heart's content. I don't really care, but I might disagree with you, but I respect your opinion. But just don't get your hopes up. Don't be mad that you lost. If you're going to be mad at anyone that you lost, be mad at your party. Because this lead is pathetic. Democrats historically do amazing in midterms when a Republican is in office. Republicans kind of just don't do good at all when a Democrat is in office during midterms. But if this, not to mention their lead is lowering, FYI, their lead has lowered, has fallen. If something big happens, where let's say Trump's approval goes up during 2026, that lead is gone. That's how small it is. That lead is, it's gone. Snap of a finger, disappeared, deleted. It's gone. So Democrats really got to get their messaging straight if they want to win this. I am a MAGA Republican. I am going to admit that I am a registered Republican. But I honestly don't care what the party is as long as I respect the policies, and I won't vote for a party that has the policies of the Democrats. The policies that the Democrats are running on is keeping the status quo. Okay? You can't win as a party if your entire platform is keeping the status quo. You got to be innovative. You got to try new things. Whether you like Trump or not, whether you like his tariffs or not, at least he is trying something. At least he is thinking outside of the box and trying to fix our issues, trying to fix the problems. It's that simple. I mean, at least he's trying something. What do Democrats have at the moment? Keeping the status quo. That's what they're running on. Because they know if they keep the status quo, the uniparty and the bureaucracy will stay in power. And they want that, but they don't understand that they're going to lose if they don't try to innovate. Their entire campaign right now is we hate Trump, and anything he does is wrong, it's stupid, and blah, 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 blah. I have never once heard a Democrat politician say, oh, well, Trump was actually right on this one thing, this one time. So I'll give him credit for that. Trump, they never give him any credit. Never. Never. I've never heard of a Democrat saying that. Maybe Fetterman. Maybe. but he's like the only one. Now that I think about it, he is the only one. He has said some positive things about Donald Trump. But yeah, he's the only one who has ever given credit where credit's due. The rest of the party doesn't. They just hate him because he won and he is Trump. That's the only reason they hate him. Not to mention, he listens to his voters. There's also that, but I don't want to get into that. So, let that load real quick. I genuinely think, because at the moment, Trump's disapproval is going down. You see this red line right here? It's going down at the moment. So, I genuinely think that it is possible for Trump to get his approval rating back up and for Republicans to somehow clutch this. I actually think it's ultimately in the realm of possibility that Republicans might be able to clutch the midterms. They might be able to hold on. Heck, with all this dumb redistricting, they might even expand their majority. There's also that. Democrats are losing the redistricting war. They can't redistrict anymore. They have gerrymandered their states to the point where if they try to again, they're risking their power. They are risking losing if they gerrymander anymore. It's crazy. It's crazy to think. And so, while I don't support gerrymandering, I think it's unconstitutional and I think it's wrong. It is legal. And the states have every right to do it. Do I agree with it? No, I don't like it. It's just party politics. But it is what it is. If Democrats do it, Republicans do it. There is no middle ground to that. And right now, Republicans are winning. So all I'm saying is right now, I think the Democrats barely win the House by maybe 2 votes, two congressmen, and they don't retake the Senate, and they lose the government. They might lose like one governorship. I don't know which one. It might be Michigan. Maybe it's Arizona. But at the moment, I think that's the situation for Democrats. So again, I'm going to make my point clear. Don't get your hopes up. This is not going to be a 2018 blue wave. It's not. It's just not. If anything, it's going to be like what happened with the Republicans in 2022. So just don't get your hopes up. And yeah. So, sorry. It's currently 11:30 and I am tired. So, thank you all for watching. I hope this has kind of humbled you guys a little bit. This is a message for Democrats. Don't get your hopes up. Do what you want to your heart's content. Vote for who you want to. I don't care. But just don't be angry at Republicans for taking advantage of your party's stupidity. Don't. The leaders of your party are idiots and they don't know how to win anymore. So with that said, everyone have a good rest of your day. I hope everyone has an amazing rest of their day. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.